We got Dr. Rose is going to be a speaker this morning. Dr. Rose is 80 plus. He's one of our younger practitioners. I want to talk a little bit to you 12th quarters people are leaving about how to be successful. If you'll take it all for a lesson, main thing is being a real human being and like people. And being a chiropractor, non-invasive, you've already accepted a challenge that you have a cause going on. I've never seen a person or a group of people that were ultra successful that didn't feel a great cause within themselves to go forward. Now that's what will push you out. Make you go out and do things that you wouldn't ordinarily do as a practitioner. And if you maintain your love and your enthusiasm for people and don't get money or your practice or your image, your professionalism between you and the public, you have to be a genuine human being. Now obviously you have to make money too. And the way we relate it, and we've been relating it over the years, is that you develop within yourself a consciousness where you see an unlimited opportunity and an unlimited potential for yourself. And that all goes back to your ideals of chiropractic, your visions of chiropractic, what you think it is. And it's very easy to fall into a trap to where you think in terms of how many accident victims they have, how many back victims there are in the community, how many chiropractors there are in the community, how many MDs in the community. If you're not careful, you'll have yourself narrowed down to where you see it. You see less and less and less and less potential. That's the thing you've got to guard against. When you get out, some of you are going to move into a situation where everything just blossoms over like you sowed an enormous amount of seeds. And you're sowing seeds now. And when you graduate, you're going to harvest. And that's when you're going to tell what kind of seeds, how big your vision is, what kind of opportunity, and how well you've really prepared yourself. Now, we know that you've prepared yourself academically, and you have a fine education. You're going to have a license wherever you practice. You're going to be a well-qualified doctor. But what you've seen for yourself and how well you've developed the part of you that people like is going to pay off, because some of you are going to have a magnetism about you. When you shake somebody's hand, they're going to like you, and they're going to have confidence in you, and they're going to refer people to you. Well, when those people come in, if you have the ability to be open-hearted with them, be a genuine friend, a genuine lover, a genuinely professional, and not make many mistakes, and then you apply the chiropractic, the beautiful thing about being in the healing business, most people are going to get well anyhow. Let's say 70% is in your favor. You're working with the tide. You're moving in that direction. So if you can be 10 or 15% effective with your chiropractic care and give a warm relationship and love them and show some concern, show some consideration, you're going to produce results. That's the key to it. Now, occasionally you'll get someone, a miracle case will come in and it'll just speed you right on to the top of your success career. But I think the main thing you need to have this inner zeal, the inner insight, the inner enthusiasm, the inner dedication, and feel like that you're just an individual and it's all up to you, not up to the chiropractic associations, not up to the national chiropractic associations or the insurance or the government, whatever. It's up to you as an individual. And that's the thing that's going to push you over. That's the thing you have to keep foremost in your consciousness, where it's up to you. And you feel an urgency in what you do in chiropractic. A lot of times we hear in this day and time about us being in the mainstream, the health provider, and our ideals, and we're all working together, et cetera, et cetera. So we have a natural tendency to believe that we are a drugless physician and we have a little piece to contribute. Well, I think that's true in a sense. I think it's good to us to think we're all together, and I think it's fine for the health team concept. But you never want to get the light that you see out there, that you see at the end of your tunnel, and we all see a light. It may be big for some, may be little for some. We have to kindle our own flame. We have to feel our own urgency. And you have to be prepared to overwhelmingly serve people. Now, you have to love them. It's difficult sometimes to relate love with a friendship or a handshake, or relate love with a proper attitude or proper relationship, or relate love with standing up when a friend comes around, or even getting up on the bus if a lady needs to sit down. Maybe she should let you sit down. I don't know. But you have to have that attitude of wanting to do something for someone and wanting to please somebody. And if you have these attributes that makes people like you, you're going to be an ultra successful person, even though you might not. And I'm going to put the negative out. Suppose you get out and it doesn't work out very well for you in the first 2 or 3 months. It used to be that in chiropractic, in all the professions, we thought about the starvation period. And starting out, if you listen to the people that would be trying to suppress you, and that's another thing you need to be conscious of. Maybe some chiropractors, you go out, they won't want you to come close to you. They don't want you to set up even a mile, 10 miles, or 15 miles down the road. They'll tell you with us, over in the next county they need some chiropractors, but over here they don't. Well, you just have to overcome that and listen to it and move right on and just do your thing with love and consideration, because you're going to meet some obstacles, and you're going to meet some situations, and maybe your crop doesn't come up as fast as it is. But you have to protect your ideals. You have to remember who you are and face up to the negatives and obstacles that we're all faced with, like real professionals. One of the things that gives us security in chiropractic is our philosophy of life. And when a patient comes in and presents himself, the first one, I recall I had a person over here in Austell. In fact, as a matter, his name was Sid Williams. And it's an interesting story. He was a publisher, too. I published and he published. And when I was a student at Georgia Tech, I'd get calls occasionally. This man was a lobbyist. And I'd get a call. I'd say, when you going down to the legislature? I said, well, I hadn't been down there lately. I'd never been to the legislature. They kept wanting to know when you going to the legislature. I see your article in the paper. This was when I was a senior student, and they were relating Sid Williams in the newspaper to Sid Williams, the publisher out here. Well, this man came in to me after being hostile. I started out with a printing press because I had zeal and enthusiasm. I believed in what BJ said, the more you tell, the more you sell. I started printing literature, running ads in the paper. And in comes this man here with a terrible right neck. He was so bad he could hardly walk. First or second patient. And in those days, they wanted the old football players, they still do, and call them rubbing doctors. I want you to work me over. Well, here I am there with an 8x10 wafer grid, and I only adjust patients that have a pattern. I have a neurocalorimeter and a neurocalligraph. We do a 3-day examination, and here's the most influential man in our whole county. So I justify in my conscience, and I go back to my chiropractic philosophy, the thing that I built on all these years. I don't adjust low backs. I don't adjust third cervicals. I don't adjust lumbars, because nothing existed there. Well, here's this fellow wants me to work him over. He's got 2 or 3 of his colleagues out there, and they're going over to see Sid, and we're going to get you straightened out. Well, I did do an x-ray. I did do a neurocalligraph. I did circumvent in my consciousness the 3-day evaluation. So I adjust him within about an hour after he's there. I developed the pictures, I marked the pictures, and you know how a round neck is. You take an x-ray. What does that mean to us? The thing is so distorted, there's no way you can get a listing. Well, one of his legs is about that short, about 3.5 or 4 inches. So I put him down on a drop head piece, bang. Turn him over and check his legs. You know, in those days, I only did it one time. When you make the thrust, you inject the pressure in, and N8 takes over and makes the correction. I did it. Nothing happened. Come on up, Irvin. Come up here, Irvin. I'm telling this preliminary for you. Come up, Irvin.